Hi, this is George Cow, and welcome to this webinar. I'm really excited about this webinar because I'm going to share with you a couple of the key lessons I have learned about true livelihood and about marketing in the past 3 months. I just came out of we're in the final week of the coaching program I launched in January, where I took 20 students, 20 client students through a coaching process and helping them create breakthroughs in their true livelihood. I've learned a lot in the past 3 months. What's interesting about all this is that I have been doing online marketing training, online business training for about 6 years, getting close to 6 years now, and most of those 6 years I've done through teaching classes, through doing group Q&A, group coaching calls, or group coaching programs, and group coaching and Q&A calls, and I haven't done one-to-one coaching until until January of 2014 is when I started it. And so I have to say that one-on-one coaching has been so much more fulfilling and so much more seeing client results than doing training and group coaching for the past 5 years. I don't regret anything in life. I think I've learned from everything, but I'm really glad that I finally started doing one-to-one coaching. And I'll tell you, I wish that more marketing coaches like me did more one-on-one coaching instead of selling all these group coaching programs where they're having dozens or hundreds of people that they can't support one-to-one on a weekly, that they can't really track each client and their progress and really help each client through issues. So I'm really happy to have done this one-on-one experience. I'm now launching the second group, which starts in April. And anyway, I'll be sharing with you actually 4 key lessons. Before I begin, I want to encourage you to comment and chat below this video. Some of you are watching this live, and I'm grateful. Those of you watching live, some of you have been chatting already. Jack from Vancouver, Rosanna from Uruguay. Aaron is here with us as well. Don't know where Aaron is from. Here, Aaron, you can share with us. Karen from Orlando, thank you so much for joining me live for this. Some of you are watching this as a replay. You can also comment below the video, and I'll be able to see those comments later. Okay, so I'm going to jump right into these 4 lessons, and the first lesson that I've learned, and I learned this both for my clients, but also for myself in my own business and marketing. That tends to happen. When we coach our clients, we help them through particular issues by suggesting certain things, and oftentimes those certain things that we're suggesting are things that we could also do better, right? So one important lesson I learned is to focus on client stories. Focus on, I should say, creating positive client stories. So when you are trying to create your true livelihood, think of it as a spiral. And I've been saying this for years, that it's not from from inception to true livelihood. True livelihood, by the way I define it is work that pays you, okay? So work that pays you and satisfies you emotionally and grows you spiritually. By satisfying you emotionally probably means you're making a positive impact, change in the world that you can see, and therefore that you are feeling gratified by, and that you're utilizing your strengths. Okay, so satisfies you emotionally, and also grows you spiritually. And by growing you spiritually, what I mean is that it doesn't compromise your values, and in fact, it strengthens your values. And one of the things that I have really grown in the past 6 years in doing online marketing is I finally, most recently, have been willing to stand up for my values and do marketing and do business from there. So a lot of the teachers I've learned from in online marketing, some of my colleagues, they're doing marketing in ways that are maybe they're pushy, or they use pressure tactics to try to get you to buy. They use fear. They use greed. They they do things that they put forth a certain persona that isn't really perhaps who they are more often with their clients and with their friends and colleagues. Um, so I finally, in the past few, I would say 6 to 12 months, gotten more and more courageous to stand up and be who I really am without the glitz, without the, well, I never really had much glitz, but I'm just who I am. I do marketing minimalistically, as little marketing as possible. But now what I do is, what I've learned yet again in the past 3 months is to focus on client stories, creating client stories. And I was talking about the niche, creating a niche. When you're not sure what to do with the rest of your life or what to do with your business and whether it's really the right fit, to the point where you are feeling you're getting paid, you're feeling fulfilled, and that you're growing spiritually through your work, it's not from here to here. It's not a straight line. Okay, it's a spiral outward and upward to heaven. Okay, it's a spiral. You start at the base, right? And all you know is yourself and maybe your friends. In terms of maybe your friends have come to you to solve certain problems that you have now become a coach or a healer in, right? But you started with just a few people that you're helping, and then you help more and more people. And as you help more people, this is the mistake that a lot of us make. That as we help people with our expertise, we are forgetting to track client stories. If you know what I'm talking about, go ahead and comment below, and let me know if that's been your experience, or if you have any questions about this, please comment below as well. So what I mean is, as we begin helping a few people, we build confidence that, oh, I can really help people with whatever thing that I do, or whatever thing you've studied, or whatever thing you have gotten trained in or discovered through your own life experience that works. You start helping people, you start helping more people, you start getting more confident, and that's how you spiral outward and upward to heaven. And heaven, we could say, is true livelihood, right? Now, all along the way, what I have forgotten to do, and what I have just started to really teach my clients to do, is to track client stories. And I'm going to give you a template for tracking client stories. And in fact, I just posted this template on my Google Plus profile, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it into the chat box for you all who are watching live. For those who are watching the replay, you should be able to scroll down later and find the template in the description area of this video. But I'm going to go ahead and share the template in the chat. Here's the template. And thank you, Jack, for the great question about what I mean by client stories. Client stories are simply situations, particular issues, or particular challenges or problems that you helped clients through. Okay. And by the way, I just posted the link to the template, and I'm not sure if it's clickable actually in the chat, but go ahead and copy and paste. Okay, great questions. Thank you, Jack. Thank you, Karen. Great questions. So first of all, client stories are particular situations, issues, problems, or challenges that you utilized your coaching or your healing to help them through, such that there was a positive result. So in your relationship with your clients, you are going to have a lot of these situations, probably, or at least a couple of them. And a lot of times we just help our clients, we're happy to help them, they get great results, and then they go on their way. And then what happens? Are we supposed to memorize what just happened? And one of the things I've learned about productivity is that your brain is for creativity, for intuition, for improvisation. It's not for storage. Don't use your brain for storing data and storing information. Write down as much as you possibly can and organize that in the real world on a spreadsheet, on a document, on a whatever, so that you can have the brain clear, so that you're not burdening your brain with information you're trying to remember, but you've written it down so that you free up your brain for creativity, for intuition, for improvisation, for planning, and the executive functions of the brain. So here, that's with client stories. If you've been coaching for a couple years or healing for a couple years, you probably have hundreds of client stories that you haven't written down. And once you start to write down those client stories, you'll start to see, you can start to organize them and see patterns on, wow, what I best do with clients is I best help them solve 10 problems or 3 problems or 2 problems or whatever it is, right? So when you get clear and write down your client stories and you start to organize them perhaps by topic, perhaps by issues, perhaps by results, then you can start to see what you most make a difference in clients' lives on. And that gets you clear about what your true livelihood is, because then you can start to market to say, rather than saying, I help everyone with everything. And by the way, another way you can organize is what type of person they are. Or some people organize it by age group. Oh, I help this age group, or I help people in this particular profession, or people in this particular industry. Or they might say, I help people who are transitioning from this stage of life to this stage of life. Okay, so or I help people who are struggling with these particular relationship issues. Right? When you write down your client stories, you are then able to organize them by, like I said, topic, or organize them by type of person they are, stage of life they're in, etc. And of course, you can organize them by how delightful the results were for that client. Again, I've given you a template that helps you to start tracking client stories. Your true livelihood becomes more and more true because now you can focus both your service and your marketing. Focus. See, this is the problem with a lot of people who try to market their services. Oh, my methodology, my XYZ fabulous methodology can be used on everyone for every problem. If I told you that, please hire me for coaching because I can help you with anything you want, like anything, any problem you can think of, I can help you with it. I'm desperate. It's not credible. I mean, I do that as a joke to show you that it's not credible, and yet so many of us coaches and healers are doing that. Why do we do that? Because we haven't tracked client stories and organized them, and therefore start to see patterns and utilize those patterns in both our coaching, our services, and as well as our marketing. So let me know if that's helpful. I know that was a mouthful, but those of you live can let me know if this is helpful so far. I really appreciate live chats because otherwise I feel like I'm just talking into a camera rather than really connecting with you. So feel free to make as many chats as you want to say helpful, not helpful, or any questions that you have. And those watching the replay can, of course, do that as well. And I will be able to see those comments and respond to them accordingly. Okay, so let me go on now to the second major lesson that I've learned. And the second major lesson that I've learned is this. There are umpteen marketing techniques. There are dozens of marketing strategies and tactics you can use to grow your business, to grow your impact in the world, right? And a lot of experts, a lot of marketing experts, they specialize in certain marketing tactics. Some people specialize in podcasting. Some people specialize in video marketing. Some people specialize in blogging. Some specialize in webinars. Some specialize in email list building. Some specialize in telesummits. Some specialize in in-person speaking. And people who specialize in their thing tend to say that, oh, you've got to do blogging. You have to, because the words in your blog will be indexed by the search engines, and if you blog consistently, that's how you get found by Google, and that's what people link to you, and therefore you get traffic. People who focus on podcasts say, no, podcasts are the best because you get to be so intimate with your audience. They're listening to you focused as they are doing things around the house, but you're really in their ear, and it's the best way to build a relationship with their audience. So people who focus on video say that, oh, there's nothing compares with video. It's multimedia. They see you, facial expression. They're much more able to really build a relationship with you because So you see what I mean? Every marketing expert has, oh, you've got to do this thing and join my coaching program so you can learn how to do X, Y, Z. And I have to say, I think it's very unfortunate because I think a lot of marketing experts, marketers, prey on us, prey on our PREY, prey on our insecurities, thinking that, oh my God, oh, that's right, there's this new marketing technique that's so big and everyone's doing it, supposedly, according to this marketing expert, everyone's doing it, so I need to get on board or I'm going to miss out. Or, oh my gosh, this person's marketing expert just told me about this tool that I should buy. Everyone's buying it, and that's a hole in my marketing. Marketers have preyed on our insecurities and fears for far too long. And I have to say, unfortunately, in the past 5 years, especially in my first couple of years, that's what I thought I needed to do as well as a marketing expert. That's whom I learned from. So that's what I partly did as well. I sold people, yo, you have to do webinars. You have to do this social media in this particular way. And like I said, I don't necessarily regret anything in life as long as I learn from it. But I want marketers to stop preying on us and start praying for us. They should be praying for their clients and their audiences, and that's what I've sort of begun to do, you know, in my work. I mean, before this webinar, I prayed, and again, this is, you know, our spirituality is gonna be different. But the way I prayed was, I prayed, God, let me do Your will on this webinar. Let me shine Your light and Your love and Your wisdom in this webinar. I don't care what happens beyond that. That's the most important thing. And may I be of true service to these people who are going to be showing up. And in the past, I wasn't like that. You know, I was here on webinars. My whole focus was, how can I get them to buy? God, if people don't buy, you know, I don't care about them. I care about the people who buy. And that's how I was taught, you know, and that's what so many of my marketing teachers, colleagues have been doing for years. Let's stop doing that, right? Marketers, and by the way, you are a marketer now too. If you're going to grow your business, you have to do some marketing. My goal in all of my teaching from now on is to help reduce marketing as much as possible, and even one day eliminate marketing. I know some marketing experts will disagree with me on that. So, well, George, marketing isn't just promotion, it's branding, it's how the customer experience, yeah, blah, 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 blah. Most people, when they think of marketing, they're thinking self-promotion. Okay, so that's what I mean is I'm working on ways to help everyone reduce or eliminate self-promotion. And the way that happens is through creating word of mouth. Okay? That's really the holy grail of marketing, is that you have word of mouth promotion in your business. Word of mouth meaning, again, we focus on client stories. If you serve your clients well, they will be much more inclined to share about your services naturally with friends and colleagues that could also benefit from what you do. If you focus on client stories particularly, okay, which I've shared just now, right? If you focus on client stories, you get more and more focused and more confident, more and more powerful in what you do, because you start to see the patterns of what you really help people with. You don't help people with everything, with every problem with your methodology. You help people, you might start that way thinking you can help people with everything, but then you start to see that, oh, actually, I best help people with X, Y, and Z. That's really what the best results are that I can really do. And you track those, and you serve your clients even better, and then the word of mouth becomes more and more natural. Okay, I am just beginning to learn this after 5 years of selling trainings, expensive trainings. I sold for $2,000, but I couldn't track every client that went through, and I couldn't provide true accountability, which is what clients really need to make a change. Group coaching programs don't have that kind of accountability, I've realized, because I've been in them and I've delivered them for years. Okay. Thank you, by the way, to just taking a quick look on the chat. Thank you to Karen and Jack and Aaron for your comments there. So the second lesson, as I was saying, that I learned, that I wish to share with you, is there are so many marketing techniques And every marketing expert has their own baby, has their own favorite technique, and they're going to try to sell you on. And here's what I've learned. And I know I'm going to probably irk some of my colleagues and marketing experts. I really don't feel you need to buy any more marketing trainings. Not from me, not from anyone. If you're going to spend any money to help with your business, please spend money to do one-on-one something, either one-on-one coaching or one-on-one consulting. No more marketing trainings that you are purchasing. No more buying information about how to do marketing and how to do business. You know why? Because all that's accessible for free. The best information I found about marketing and training, marketing and business building have been for free online, and that's one of the things I'm going to be teaching over the course of the next few months is how to search for those. I mean, one of the things you must learn is use Google and experiment with Google, searching whatever question you have. Chances are, if you go to the second or third page of results, you'll find your answer. The best, trust me, the best information about marketing and about business building is not locked inside some paid informational product that costs $2,000 or even an ebook that costs $97 or $47. No, the best information is found for free on blog posts, on articles people have written for free online, and on podcast episodes that people have recorded. And I'm going to give you some resources before the end of this webinar so that you can go and do all this research for free. Okay, but that that wasn't even the second major lesson I want to share. The second major lesson is this: out of all the various marketing techniques, the answer is not I've got to do all of them, or else I'm not doing the right marketing. And the answer is not I've got to do whatever marketing strategy of the week that this expert is telling me that I have to do. Here's the answer. The answer is you've got to experiment and then feel into whichever marketing technique most makes you feel alive, and then go and use that marketing technique consistently until you see results. Here's why. Every marketing technique that you study and learn, I mean, especially if you've learned them in the past 3 to 5 years, is fine. It works. It's just that it doesn't work for you if you don't do it consistently, and if it doesn't make you feel alive. If it doesn't make you feel alive, first of all, it doesn't make you feel alive, you're probably not using your strengths in that marketing technique. So for example, I have I'm starting to, but for the past 6 years, I have not enjoyed writing. I just haven't. Writing doesn't come easily to me. It's always a chore. I mean, even emails, writing just doesn't come easily to me. Speaking does. As you can tell, I enjoy talking. And so I have not done blogging for the past 6 years. I've started to recently. Because one of the things that I have really made a transformation in is that now I live as if I'm dying. That started with me for about 6 months ago. I came to this realization: oh my God, I don't know how long I'll live, so I'm gonna live as if I'm dying. So everything I can possibly share in my brain and in my heart about how to build true livelihood, I'm gonna share it as widely and as quickly as I can, because I don't know how much longer I have left. And I want to be of true service to as many people as I can, and to you. So I started blogging recently because who cares? I don't care if my writing's bad. I got to get the information out there, right? By the way, that's a great way to be productive, is to live as if you're dying. And one of my clients actually said she doesn't mess around with having, she's overcome a lot of her mental blocks because she said, I don't know, I'm old, I don't know how long I have left. I got to get this information out there, so I don't care if my video isn't great or whatever. I'm just gonna, and her video is pretty great, but so it's a great way of productivity. So all the markets, the second lesson here, all the marketing techniques, you need to experiment with a lot of them. Yes, you do. So don't buy any trainings. Just read free articles and listen to free podcasts about whatever marketing technique you're curious about. Learn enough about it to experiment with it. And how long should you experiment? I'm not going to give you a specific timeline, but probably I would say experiment with it for at least a month. Just otherwise, it's not a real experiment, right? So experiment with maybe a month. See if you feel like it's using your strengths, or that or that it's using skills that you wish to build as strengths. Okay, so for example, blogging now, I wish to build writing as a strength. So experiment with lots of marketing techniques. You could do it one at a time. You don't feel like you have to experiment with 10 marketing techniques at once. Okay, maybe you could experiment with 2 or 3 at the same time. Do webinars. At the same time, you could try doing blogging, and at the same time, you could try doing, playful outreach through Facebook or whatever. Okay, try marketing techniques. Feel into which ones utilize your strengths or utilize skills that you feel passionate about building, and then do them consistently until you see results. When you do them consistently, you are naturally going to want to learn more, and that's actually a key lesson, right? Is to keep, if you're going to do something consistently and committed to doing it for 6 months, 12 months, okay? If you've experimented about it for a month, you've learned more about it, you've experimented, and you say, you know what? This is something that I either enjoy, or I want to build, I'm passionate about building a strength in this area. Then do it, then commit to doing it for 6 to 12 months. Okay, that's key. And as you're committing to doing it for 6 to 12 months, continue learning about it by reading free articles, free blog posts, free mind maps, free podcast episodes, free videos, free audios, and keep learning and keep doing it consistently. You're going to see results if you do it consistently. The problem that a lot of people have is they do something for a month, and then even though they might want to do it, they go on to the next shiny object. And having not done it for 6 to 12 months, they don't see the results, and they go, no marketing works for me because I tried these 100 things and none of it worked. Well, no wonder it didn't work, because consistency is required for marketing. Marketing is kind of like pushing a car. Okay, think about this. You're pushing a car. If you push a car and you're pushing a car for like the first 10 seconds and it doesn't move, let's say you're pushing a heavy car. Okay, first 10 seconds doesn't move. You go, oh, I tried this, pushing it this way, pushing it that way, none of it worked. Doesn't move. This car's not going to move. Well, of course not. If you push it for half a minute to a minute, it'll start to build momentum, and then it'll start to go pretty quickly after that. You've got to commit for 6 to 12 months in whatever marketing technique you feel passionate, it makes you feel alive, or that you want to learn and feel interested in learning. Just looking at the live chat, thank you, Barbara, for joining us as well. Okay, so what are some of the I'm going to share with you some client stories from the past 3 months. So Tomar, one of the folks in my program, she has tried different marketing techniques over the years, and she has really stumbled in the past. Not just even the past 3 months. I think she's gotten even more conscious about it in the past 3 months. But she's been doing this for a little while. She loves doing playful outreach on Facebook for her offer, and you can check out Tomar Levine, Tomar Levine, Levine. Just find her on Facebook, and she's been doing more and more playful outreach about her services. By playful, I mean Tomar is an artist, so she put together a very cute, a delightful, uplifting little art piece that says, "Come and play with me," or "Come and dance with me." And then she posted that image and says, "Hey, anyone want to play with me? I'm trying out this new format of my coaching and healing," and she does coaching. "Trying out this new format, and anyone want to play with me?" And then she got responses. So she's learned that, wow. And she sent it via her email list, and that also got responses. So the thing that she tried that made sense for her is this playfulness, this playful attitude in her outreach, and utilizing her strength of art to create that. I don't have an artistic strength, and I don't even say I do things playfully, so that's not my strength, but that's her strength. And she discovered, after experimenting with different marketing techniques, and she's going to keep doing it. And if Tomar is watching this, I would say keep doing it, commit to doing it for at least 6 to 12 months. Okay. Another example, Rachel, who's been working with in the past 3 months too. She has discovered that she's pretty strong in doing local networking. She goes to local networking events, and she's really good at being able to have conversations with people face to face. Her smile and energy really positively influences people, and she's able to tailor the conversation to their particular needs, and therefore pique interest in her coaching. Great. Now, local networking is not something I'm good at. I go to a local networking event and I'll get stuck with one person for the rest of the night because I don't know how to I don't know how to like politely say go and talk to someone else, you know, and right. So it doesn't work for me. So I don't do local networking, but it works for Rachel, right? So Claire, Claire in the program is she's starting to do short YouTube videos, and in fact, you can go to YouTube and search Claire. Well, go to blissrevolution.com, and you can start to watch Claire's. She just started doing them in the past 3 months. She's done it a little bit in the past, but not consistently, and now she's been inspired in the past 3 months to start doing short YouTube videos, and I basically encourage her to do short YouTube videos answering questions that her clients and prospective clients often have. And by the way, this is something, if you're going to do videos, okay, if you're going to do videos on YouTube or Vimeo or other places, think about the strategy. List out questions that you've been asked by your clients, by your prospective clients. Okay, list them all out. Okay, and then organize them by which questions typically get asked the most. And then do short YouTube videos, maybe 2 to 5 minutes long. The shorter, the better, basically, answering each question. If you do that, and you start building up this archive of videos answering questions, you're going to be found on Google and YouTube when people search those questions. And it's a great way to build an audience. And of course, not only don't just rely on search engine, but also start posting those videos in places where you do your outreach on Facebook, on your website, through your email list. When people ask you through just email or through other places, you say, oh yeah, check out this. I've already answered this question, and I think you'll enjoy the answer. Here's a short video that answers it. Okay. Oh, by the way, one of the fears that people have, well, if I answer all the questions, then people aren't going to hire me. I understand. That's a common fear. But here's the reality. The reality is that the more they watch of you, and it doesn't matter if we're talking about video or podcasting or articles, the more content they consume from you, the more they want to work with you. The more they actually want to go further when there's an opportunity. And the more they're going to spread your content to other people. So don't be afraid of sharing, giving away the farm, okay? If you're sharing it on YouTube, it's free for you. It doesn't cost you any money to host your videos on YouTube, right? In terms of writing, I write on medium.com. Medium.com. Medium.com was founded by the person who co-founded Twitter. Same co-founder as Twitter. Now he has Medium, which is for blog posts. And it's free for me to write there. So why wouldn't I write there? It doesn't cost me any money, 1 million people reading it versus one person reading it. So think about content. Think about information that you can share to help people. Think of that as your legacy. Don't hold back anymore. That is outdated. That's the strategy of the past. And that's a strategy of fear and of contraction. Open. Open. Give your content as digestibly, as powerfully, as helpfully as you can. And if you come with that attitude and that intention, and you start doing that, you will build an audience that is more loyal to you than anything else, and that will spread by word of mouth what you do, and you'll get better at it. When you first start writing your blog posts, start doing your videos, it's going to be okay. All right, yeah, it's okay. But again, if you commit to 6 to 12 months and keep learning all along the way, you're going to get better at it. Of course you are. You're going to surpass the skill level of someone who dabbled and said, oh, shiny object, video marketing. Shiny object, podcast. Shiny object, blogging. You know, they dabble, and therefore they don't build skill. The longer you do it, and the more you keep learning and observing yourself and getting feedback and tweaking, the more you become a real master at that medium, with that type of information delivery. I didn't just start speaking yesterday. I've been speaking for 6 years now. When I first started speaking, trust me, I wasn't this confident. And I didn't even want to do video. I was very shy about it. I didn't start doing video until about a year ago. That's when I started doing video. Video marketing was big even 4 or 5 years ago. I didn't start doing it until a year ago. Anyway, so more client stories I want to share with you. Allison, she was already planning to do this before we started coaching. I helped her, supported her more doing this. But she wanted to do a telesummit. She was passionate about it, so she's done it, and she's doing it now. I'm part of her telesummit, in fact. And if you want to check it out, let me give you the link to her telesummit. It is just checking this out to make sure. GiveToProfit.com. 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 So Allison, she's created this wonderful fundraising telesummit, and fundraising and humanitarian work is her passion. So she's able to weave her passion, her strength, into her business work, and it's brilliant. Right? Telesummits are not something I want to do. It is so much darn work. I never felt alive, never felt energized about doing telesummits, even though I know it'll build tons of email lists, but I just don't. Again, see, here's the key again. Don't listen to any marketing expert that says you must do my method, you must do telesummits, you must do podcasting. Stop it, people. Stop preying on people's insecurities and fears. What you must do is what gets you feeling alive and allows you to learn and get you results over time, okay? Which is many, many marketing techniques, not just telesummits, not just podcasts, not just blogging, not just videos, not just email list building. Okay, any of it can work if you commit to it. Another client, Janet, she has been discovering that she is really good at doing phone calls. She enjoys doing phone calls. So she basically invites prospective clients on a one-on-one phone call. And she's really good at it. People talk to her. She loves talking to people. She loves helping people on those calls. And then they decide they want to work with her, many of them. I'm not good at that. Many of my clients aren't good at doing exploratory phone calls, but Janet is, so she does that. You see what I mean? Catherine, she's found that doing in-person events, she does a lot of different things. She does sound healing. She does soul collage. She does in-person events in her home. Her home is large. Like my home wouldn't be large enough to do in-person events, but her home is large enough to do that, and people love it. And people experience her in-person events. And for example, Catherine doesn't like doing video. She doesn't like doing social media. That doesn't make her feel alive. So I'm not going to push her into those areas. So again, the second major lesson, as I'm saying here, and I probably have driven the point home already. I'll move on to the next lesson. The second major lesson again is doesn't matter what marketing techniques you use. Experiment with lots of them. Sense into what makes you feel alive or what you really feel passionate about learning, and dedicate yourself to 6 to 12 months of it. I'll tell you my story. I haven't shared my story about that. My story is right now what makes me feel really alive is doing podcasting. Yes, I know I should be blogging more. I know I should be guest blogging. I know I should be doing a telesummit. Blah, blah, blah. Stop shoulding ourselves, okay? Stop shoulding ourselves. Should. No. Try different things and see what makes you feel alive and commit as soon as possible to something that. So I'm committing to podcasting for a year. And I'll tell you right now, my podcasting is not delivering client results yet because I've only been doing it for 1 month. If I do it for 1 month, it's not delivering client results. Am I going to quit? Usually, that's the typical mode of operation, right? Oh, a month doesn't work, quit. No. I said, no, I love doing this. It activates my strength, so I'm going to do it for a year. No matter what happens, I'm going to keep learning about it and doing it for a year. And then I'll build enough skill where I get so good that the world can't ignore me. And that's what I want you to do. Build enough skill in whatever marketing tactic you develop. You get so good at it, the world can't ignore you anymore. You see what that makes sense? Okay. All right. Let's move on to the third. So just to summarize, well, how do you know what marketing tactic to stick with, right? To really commit to 6 to 12 months. Kind of 3 things, right? 3 factors. One is, do you love doing it? By love, meaning does it use your strengths? Does it make you feel alive? Jack, in fact, Jack right here on our live chat, he has discovered that he likes doing webinars. It gives him a high, and he's dedicated to learning more about doing it. So he loves doing it. So that's the first factor. Do you love doing it, or are you passionate about learning more about it? Second of all, does it get a response from your audience? And don't judge it just by a few weeks of doing it. You might want to do it for 1 to 2 months before you start judging whether it gets a response. If it's not getting a response, please, let me know, and I can see what I can help you tweak a little bit to get more response. By the way, if you're going to post questions for me, what I would invite you to do is post questions underneath the video, underneath this video, and uh, generally I am able to respond within a week. If you want a faster response, you may be able to get a faster response from me by going to ourhighestwork.com. That's my podcast community. I'm particularly passionate about it right now, so if you post in my podcast to me, I generally tend to get respond a little bit faster there. So what you love to do. Secondly, what gets an audience response after enough testing? And thirdly, what gets you clients? Simple as that. Love, response, and clients. By audience response, I mean, are you getting comments, positive comments about what you're doing? Are you, if you're posting it on social media, are you getting likes? Okay. And ask people, ask your friends to attend your webinar, or ask your friends to check to consume your new marketing channel, your new blog posts, your new podcast, and ask them, hey, what do you think? You think I have potential here? Okay, so you can gauge that response that way. So, third major lesson from these past 3 months working with these clients is that habits, that personal habits, are a bigger deal than I realized, and then that they even realized. Now you might think that, oh, George, my habits are great. I get enough sleep, I eat regularly, I exercise, and maybe you don't. And maybe you think, oh, it doesn't matter. What's more important, George, is I need your marketing advice and I need your business coaching. Yes, you might need that, but what you might need more than you realize is someone to hold you accountable, lovingly hold you accountable, and help you make progress on building what I call a generative stability. A generative stability in your life. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to actually direct you to a list of habits that I've put on my coaching program page, and I'm going to direct you by going and doing a screen share. And some of you may be just listening to this, not seeing the screen. That's okay. I'm going to say everything that I share on the screen. Those of you who are able to watch the screen, go ahead and look at the screen now. And soon you'll see my coaching program page. It's georgecal.com/coaching. And by the way, I'm not bringing you here in some sly tactic to try to get you to apply to my program. It doesn't matter to me. It matters less to me whether you apply to my program. It matters more to me that you know that there's this list of habits that's here. And plus, I can only help 20 people in my program, and 12 spots have already been taken at this point. So there's only 8 spots left, but it doesn't matter. What I want you to do is, there's a lot more than 8 people watching this, so what I want you to do is use this list of habits, and I'm going to keep building resources to this list of habits over time, and it'll show up on this page. I'll post it on social media, I'll email it out via my email list, so you'll be updated on it. But if you go to georgecal.com/coaching, I built this page as a useful page for everyone, not just for those who become my clients. Okay, so scroll down, georgecal.com/coaching, go there, and then scroll down until you see, I'm going to just make my screen a little bit more pleasant to look at here. Okay, you'll see the list of projects, and you can literally use this list of projects, these 25 projects. You don't have to do all of them. Remember, do the thing that makes you feel alive and that works for you. Some of these you do have to do, but some of these are optional. But look through these list of projects. These are marketing business projects that if you do many of them, will build your true livelihood. That's what it does. So anyway, but that's not what I'm talking about right now. I'm going down to the list of habits. By the way, I just added this in this morning. If you haven't seen this particular section, very, very useful. The mind maps that I'm going to be coaching through the program, this coming group of clients, my true livelihood mind map and my online marketing mind map. You can spend months and months going through the resources listed in those mind maps. So just check that out when you have a chance. I just updated this page this morning, so you might not have seen it yet. But keep going down, and now we're at habits. Okay, I call these this quote I love: "We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence is not an act, but a habit." And that's a quote from Aristotle. We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence is not an act, but a habit. So that's what I mean. You got to build habits, and I call these habits success factors to work on. And by the way, I'm going to just make the screen a little larger so that it's a little easier to read. Hopefully it's a little easier to read now. Okay, let me see if I can make it even larger. Oh, that's a little, okay, yeah, that works. So I call these success factors. And I have realized over the past 3 months of intensively coaching these clients that the clients who are able to build their true livelihood more quickly have more of these success factors, these habits, and the clients who will need a little bit longer to build their true livelihood have fewer of these to start with, and they need to really work on them. Okay? So these are the 15, and you don't have to have every single one of them, but the more of them that you have, the more quickly your true livelihood manifests. Okay? True livelihood manifesting isn't just by doing affirmations, right? That can help. It's not just by following business tactics and marketing strategies. Those obviously help. It's by building a generative stability. And these 15 allow you to do that. So I have written them down here. I'm not going to read all of them to you. You can read them yourself. But things like joyful day mapping, your morning and evening routine, the time awareness, following a schedule, not overcommitting, working less, okay, so that you'll work more efficiently. And basically, I've given you a link where I do my training on all this stuff, my Joy for Productivity training. It's all free. It's all free, okay? And like I said, I'm bleeding as I'm dying, so everything I do now I try to do for free in terms of content. That's infinitely scalable. Why not? Help as many people as can. Project management, organizing ideas, defining requirements. I need to write more here, but I'll be doing that over time. I'll be updating this page over time, and I'll send out updates definitely via email. If you're on my email list. Energy management, okay, recovery breaks, resilience, computer on and off times in your day, physical space decluttering, having recurring alarms on your phone or on somewhere so you remember to do your energy management practices, etc. Money management is a big one, okay? In fact, that was the 4th lesson I was going to share with you today, right? The 4th lesson, I'll just share with you real quick here because we are running a bit short on time and I do want to take as many questions as I can right now in this webinar. So the 4th lesson I was going to share. So the 3rd lesson is the importance of building a generative stability by building as many of these habits as you can. The 4th lesson is that you've got to have your basic financial plan in order before you invest in any more business coaching, business training. So please listen to me carefully. Starting today, please do not spend any more money on anything other than what you basically need to live and be happy. Especially do not spend any more money on buying another informational product, another coaching program, another training program. Don't spend any more money. Marketers are preying on us when they should be praying for us, okay? They're going to use all kinds of tactics. Oh my God, don't buy this thing, otherwise it's going to be the same amount for a whole year. You got to buy it now. But please buy this program. It's going to close forever and never. They use all kinds of tactics. Life will go on without their program. Life will go on just fine and happily. You don't really need anything. That's a spiritual practice. As we do more spiritual practice, we discover we don't really need anything at all to be happy, right? But anyway, that's a whole other topic. Don't spend any more money. What you need more is to build a solid financial plan for yourself. Do you know where your basic needs are going to be, how your basic needs are going to be met for the next 6 months, at least? Do you know how you're going to pay your mortgage, your rent, your food, your insurance, whatever else you definitely need, your car, whatever you definitely need for the next utilities, internet access for the next 6 months? Once you have those 6 months of financial plan set, then any additional money that's left over, you can invest in your business. In fact, I would say don't even buy any more business tools. Do not buy any more software. Do not sign up for any more website membership programs or software tools that are monthly billing. No more. You can build a business for free using free tools. The website I'm using the pro version now because I have, I pay $100 a year for the pro version of this website, but you could do it for free using Weebly.com. by the way, I have it on my website. I'm going to scroll quickly right now, so sorry about that. I'm going to scroll very quickly to the top to show you. On my website, click on resources. Okay, resources, and I've given you all of the website tools and the business tools I use, the software tools I use to build my business. And by the way, I used to use affiliate links. None of these are affiliate links anymore. All of these, I don't. If you go through them, go through me. It doesn't matter. I don't get paid anymore because I purposely don't want to be incentivized to try to sell you stuff besides my own program whenever it's open and just for a few people. The whole affiliate links thing is, I think, gone too far, and I encourage you to read my reasons on why. Again, georgecow.com/resources. I list my reasons on why I don't do affiliate marketing anymore, because it doesn't incentivize us in terms of a pure sharing of our audience in the purest and most helpful way possible. There's always that money component that comes in that muddies everything. Okay, muddies our intentions, no matter how pure we think we are. So anyway, all of these I truly share them with you because they're really useful. Okay, the only thing you need to spend money on, actually, you don't need to spend money on that. I was going to say you need to spend money on your domain name. You don't even need to. Don't worry if it's, and I was just talking with Jack about this yesterday. Don't worry if it's jackandsurya.weebly.com. Who cares? All right, it's a slightly more professional than jackandsurya.com, but it's okay. Your clients, you're not a marketing expert. You're not a marketing coach. You're not going to dock you on that one, right? So you can do just about everything, build a business for free. Your website can be free. Your mailing list can be free using MailChimp.com. That's what I use. I'm paying for it now because I have larger email lists, but you can go up to 2,000 subscribers for free. Dwala, you don't have to use PayPal. Use Dwala. It's cheaper. If you have USA customers, worldwide you didn't use PayPal or something like that. Anyway, sorry, I have to update some of these things. Some links are not showing up here. It's very strange. Okay. All right, go back to my georgecow.com/coaching. I'm going to scroll down quickly. Sorry for this speed, but I'm going to go down to habits again. So anyways, that was my fourth lesson, is to develop 6 months knowing where your income is stable for the next 6 months of meeting your basic expenses before you spend any extra money on any software, membership sites, training, coaching, etc. And I would say, again, don't even buy any more training, right? It's all for free out there anyway. Okay, health and wellness management, maintenance. Is your sleep regular? Do you get enough sleep at night? Are you sleeping earlier enough? If you can sleep before 10 p.m., that's best for your body because of the cycles, the natural cycles of light and evening and circadian rhythms. Okay, I'm spending just a little bit of time on this point. And by the way, those who are watching this, if you can chat and let me know, is this helpful? Am I going off the deep end here? I really appreciate it. Just let me know, just kind of like helpful, not helpful, go on, etc. So sleep is something I was surprised by working with these clients for the past 3 months. At least 25% of my clients realized that they actually need to be sleeping earlier if they want to have enough energy for every day to work on their true livelihood. I didn't make them focus on that. I mentioned that as one of the habits to develop, but they realized, oh my God, yeah, I'm working into too late into the night, and I end up sleeping not so well, or I sleep too late, and my day is already half over, or whatever it is. So I was surprised that sleeping earlier is, and I'm not surprised actually, because that's probably the issue with many solopreneurs who work from home, and therefore you can work until whenever. You don't have a boundary, you don't have time awareness, and therefore not the boundaries of your time are not disciplined, and you don't have this routine that really gives you more energy than you ever thought was possible. So I basically shared a way of thinking about it that was helpful. It's particularly helpful for my clients. Green, yellow, red. Okay, green, yellow, red. I'll let you look at this web page later, but I'm just going to switch back to just the normal screen here. So green, yellow, red. Think about yourself and your energy throughout the day. And by energy, I mean your uplifting, your feeling of being uplifted and empowered in doing your work, both physically and emotionally, and maybe you want to say spiritually. Are you feeling green? Are you feeling in the flow and in balance? So that's the two key things about green is feeling in the flow of your day and of your work, and feeling balanced so that you don't feel like you're furiously working on something and you're so stuck on it you can't move away, to balance yourself in your energy and to finally have lunch or whatever. Okay? Flow and balance means you're in the green. Yellow is what to really, really watch for. Yellow is the boundary between green and red. Yellow is when your energy starts to flag, okay? When you are starting to feel obsessive about something, therefore off balance, or when you're feeling frustrated and no longer in the flow. That's when you're in yellow. And when you're in yellow, the answer is not to speed up, okay? Not like when most of us are driving. Yellow, oh, speed up. No, when you're in yellow with regard to your energy, you need to stop. You need to stop what you're doing, step away from the computer or whatever you're working on, and go and do some stretching. I'll tell you what I do. How do I get from yellow back to green? I actually have a recurring alarm on my phone that pings every hour during my working day at 4 minutes before the hour. So I even expect for an hour, at very least an hourly break to get away from the computer or whatever I'm doing and to do my energy management practice. And this is what I do. I get up from the computer, I lay down on the ground, completely relaxed, laying down on the ground, feeling the ground supporting me as much as possible. I literally try to feel that I'm sinking into the ground and the ground is supporting me completely. That if the ground weren't there, I would fall into the center of the earth. I literally visualize, oh my God, the ground wasn't here and the earth wasn't here. I would fall to the center of the earth, but here the ground is lovingly supporting me. So I lay down on the ground for about a minute, and then I get up and I stretch. I stretch my body in ways that my body doesn't usually stretch in the normal course of the day. So I put my arms up and back and around. You know, I mean, those of you who do yoga or other official stretching practices are probably more sophisticated than I am at this. But I basically stretch my arms in ways that it wouldn't otherwise stretch. Okay, because movements, some of you do dance, and that's kind of like that. Okay, I stretch, and I also do very gentle head roll, and as I do my head roll, I move my eyes in the extremes. So when I'm here, I move my eyes in the extremes this way on the lower left, and as I roll up and around, I roll my eyes in the extreme in all the ways. Because when you roll your eyes, not in regular conversation, but when you're stretching, it actually activates your brain. It stretches, it moves your brain so that you get more energy there. So move my eyes, I roll my head. I even do some kicks, very gentle kicks, so I can move my legs and stuff like that. And so after my laying down and my stretching, I walk mindfully to the kitchen to get some tea or water. So I drink every hour. Okay, so this is part of my hourly practice. And as I walk to the kitchen to get water to drink, I say one of my spiritual truths. And I have at least three that actually have at least four that I say daily. First one that I say is, all is well, all is well, all manner of things shall be well. That came from Julian of Norwich, a female saint. Very interesting, by the way, Wikipedia article. Check out Julian of Norwich on Wikipedia and read about her theology. She was definitely not conventional for the time, but I agree with her theology more than I agree with the Catholic Church of the time. Anyway, so all is well, all manner of things shall be well. Truly, everything is going to work out, not just well, it's going to work out delightfully, amazingly, lovingly perfect for you. It's going to work out amazingly for you. Possibly in this life, but definitely in the course of your soul for eternity, it's going to work out really, really, really well. So you have that to look forward to. All is well. And even now, some magical truth is that right now, no matter what you're going through, somehow, one of the things I like to say now is give thanks for every event in your life, because it is either a blessing or a blessing in disguise. Give thanks for every event, everything, every moment in your life, because it's either a blessing or a blessing in disguise. So anyway, I read some of I passionately, and I may even sing this as I walk, some truth that makes me remember what this is all about and connects me again with a divine connection. So, and then I'm in the kitchen as I get some water from the faucet. I give thanks for, I know this sounds weird to some of you, but I give thanks to the spirits that take care of our water on this planet. Especially as I'm turning on the faucet, give thanks. And I pray for their healing, and I pray for their more strength and light to them. I know, weird stuff, but that's what I do. It's my own little superstition, you can call it. But I believe in it. So I drink water, and then as I walk back, I pray for someone, and I run through five people in my life. I pray for those who are suffering. I pray that that they have hope today, that they have clarity about what they need to do to get out of their suffering, and that they have strength to take those steps and therefore experience joy as they get out of their own suffering. Because we all suffer not because other people do stuff to us. We all suffer because we stay in our suffering, and we need to have clarity about what to do next to get out of our suffering, strength, and joy. Anyway, pray for the suffering. I pray for someone I'm judging recently, or an enemy, or someone I don't like what they're doing. A lot of times it's the other marketers in the internet. I pray for them, pray for their well-being, their happiness. They're more that they be more connected, deeply connected to their true mission in this life, and they'll do it with happiness. I pray for my parents, my grandparents sometimes. I pray for my significant other, my spouse, and then I pray for my audience, my clients, and all of you, basically. So I pray. So on the way back, I pray. And then back here at the computer, I take 3 gentle, easy, mindful breaths, and then I start my work session again. So that's my way to get from yellow to green. What's yours? You will maybe have a different one. Some of you meditate, some of you dance, some of you listen to music, some of you get a snack, okay, etc. So different ways of doing it. Okay, red, okay, green, flow and balance. Yellow, time to do some energy management practice. Red, which is really, it takes sensitivity, which you build over time. At first, it's very easy to go from green to red because you're not yet sensitive to the yellow. But it's building sensitivity over time. Oh my God, okay, I feel like I'm in yellow now. I need to go step away and do my energy management practice, okay? So that's, and even in a conversation, if you're having a heated conversation and you're feeling yourself going into the yellow, you can say, you know what? I actually need to step away for a little bit. Thank you, and I really want to continue this conversation. I need to go and center myself, ground myself a bit before we continue. Okay, so whatever it is. And then the red is, OMG, okay, you really need to do your energy management practice now, or get some rest, or take a nap, or something like that. So I have now shared with you the 4 key lessons I have learned, and there's many more, and I basically integrated those lessons into, and I'll share my screen real quick again. I learned a lot of lessons in the past 3 months, and I basically updated the georgecal.com/coaching website so that it includes as many resources as I can in terms of business and marketing lessons, as well as my habit lessons. So I really, really encourage you to use this website, and particularly look for these mind maps that are located underneath the projects at georgecal.com/coaching. Okay. Now, let's now do some Q&A, shall we? So I'm going to take a look at the live chat and see if you have any questions. Those of you live here, those of you watching this, you are welcome to post your questions underneath the video, and I generally am able to respond within a week, so just be patient and I can respond there. But those who are here live, what questions do you have? Okay. I just want to thank Karen and Jack and Rosanna and Barbara have been commenting, and I want to thank you all for that. Um, okay, well, while I'm waiting for your questions to come through, um, I will say a bit about my coaching program, and in case you're interested in working with me. So my coaching program, you can see all the details at georgecow.com/coaching. It's something I open once every 3 months or so, and I work with just 20 people in the coaching program, one-on-one, so that I can really track their progress and their energy level and their deeper and deeper understanding of their true livelihood, and as they're growing their marketing, and really track them over the 3 months. Now, if you're interested in what the experience, one thing that I'm always looking at whenever I check out a service or a product is I want to see, well, what are the other customers saying about it? So I'm so grateful that I asked all 20 of my recent clients to basically post not a testimonial. I actually asked them to give a balanced and honest review of the program, and many of them ended up sending testimonials, which it's up to them. I want to thank them for it. But yeah, so you can go check that out at georgecow.com/review. Actually, is it reviews? georgecow.com/reviews with an S at the end. George Cow, let me actually see if that goes there. Yeah, georgecow.com/reviews is the client reviews. So check that out to see if that's what you're looking for, and check out georgecow.com/coaching for all the things we do in this program. Basically, once the program fills, so 20 people, right now, already 12 people who have applied, I think are good fits, so I'm holding a space for them tentatively. I'm going to be, those of you who have applied who haven't yet heard from me, at this moment, if you're watching this on Tuesday, March 18th at 10:40 a.m. Pacific, you probably are. All the ones so far are actually quite a good fit, so I'm really happy. I think the application process I've updated recently, so it's much more rigorous than it was before, so I think it tends to help people clarify whether this is for them or not. So 12 spots are tentatively filled right now. That includes a few of my previous clients that really wanted to continue just for a little while longer, so I'm saving some spots for them as well. So right now there are 8 spots that are open if you want to work with me for the next 3 months. I'll welcome you. And also, I really need to say this, that when you join my program, I truly care about your success. I truly care, and I'm going to be doing everything I can during the 3 months, within the bounds of my work-life balance, to help you create your true livelihood, or take the very next large leap that you couldn't have taken by yourself in your true livelihood. So that's what we work on. And after the program, after the 3 months is over, you get to be part of the alumni group that happens for life, forever. I have no plans to close the alumni group. I show up in the alumni group a couple of times a week, help out wherever I can, but really the program itself is meant to create this community. The community is a really important part of our 3-month program. It's not just one-to-one with me. It's one-to-one with me, and it's also getting to know the other clients, the other community members. So I always build in as much mutual support as I can in the program. So after the program, you'll have this rhythm of work and mutual support that you get to keep forever, ongoingly, and that is a benefit that I think other marketing coaches, business coaches charge for, ongoing. Clients have said to me, George, you should charge for this. Charge for an ongoing fee so that you can keep supporting us, etc. And I do keep supporting them, but right now I'm not going to charge for it. So just ongoingly. So that's a wonderful thing. And also, I wanted to say that I don't know if this is helpful or not helpful, but I really look at the 20 people who work with me every 3 months. This is the only thing I do for money. So the 20 people are really my sponsors, my supporters, my financial supporters. So just know that when you're joining this program, not only am I giving you my best, but you're actually supporting my work and me financially as well. And I'm obviously extremely grateful for that. And allows me to do all the other work in the world that allows me to serve as many people as possible. So you, with your contribution in the program, is actually being used. I mean, you could look at me almost as as a nonprofit, you're allowing me to support many other people in their true livelihood. So thank you so much for that as well. Okay, now I'm going to look to see if there are questions. Okay, all right. And by the way, and I show you my coaching program and mention it. Again, I only have 8 spots, so this is not meant for everyone. This may or may not be meant for you. And my point is not that you should sign up or you know, if you're not a good person. No, I genuinely want to support as many people as possible through my free stuff. So if you cannot afford it, don't worry about it. Don't sign up. Really, actually, I really mean it. And in the application process, you'll see that if you are not, if it's going to be a financial hardship for you, please don't sign up. Other marketing coaches I've seen, they say, well, you know, don't tell people that because they could probably borrow money from other people, or you don't know what they could take from their retirement. And no, I don't want to do any of that. I want you to be really financially feeling okay about investing in this, if you are going to. Because, and if you're not, I do lots of free stuff that I'm, you know, support a lot of people with. So I hope you use those. All right, questions. Rosanna's asked, I have moved into a new country. Congratulations, Rosanna. I'd love to hear what you think of Uruguay. Never been there before. She says, we work more face-to-face than via social media. Any suggestions? Great question. Well, number one, definitely, remember I mentioned earlier all these different marketing techniques. One of them was face-to-face, right? And truly, face-to-face connection as well as in-person speaking is actually probably the most impactful in terms of relationship building with your audience than any other marketing technique, right? There's face-to-face in terms of level of impact and relationship building. There's face-to-face, and then there's video or webinar, and then there's audio or, you know, podcast, and then there's text or writing or blogging, all that stuff. Now, I mentioned this hierarchy not so that everyone should jump to the highest and do the in-person speaking. I used to say that, but actually, like I mentioned, you've got to try all of these and see which one makes you feel alive, which one works really well for you, and if you commit to it, it'll work for you. So, Rosanna, in your case, you are limited by the culture in terms of doing face-to-face more, so I would really encourage you, therefore, to focus on the face-to-face strategy. If you want more resources on this, I would, for example, if I were you, I would go to google.com and search. So I focus mainly in my business training and coaching. I focus a lot on online marketing. But for you, I would say first and foremost, go to google.com and search how to get more speaking gigs. Google that, how to get more speaking gigs, or how to network more effectively at events, or something like that. Or another one is how to find clients locally. Okay, so those are things I would Google, and literally I say Google because Google is always pushing to the top. The top 2 or 3 results pages are generally the better results. So I would really do that if I were you. Another one is you say that they work more face-to-face than social media, but here's the key though. Though there are still probably millions of people in Uruguay who are using, for example, Facebook. I'm just going to do a quick search. I'm going on Facebook, and I will show you what I'm doing on Facebook so that you can see what I'm doing right now. Okay, so I'm going to make this a little bigger so you can see it. I'm on Facebook, and I'm searching at the top, friends who live in Uruguay. Okay, probably not very many. Okay, I'm just going to click on this. My friends who live nearby from Uruguay, or who live nearby, people who live nearby from Uruguay, friends. Okay, so I don't actually have any friends who live in Uruguay, but I have friends of friends who live nearby. Okay, I'm just going to search friends who live in Uruguay and see what happens. Okay, actually no. Friends of friends who live in Uruguay. Okay, so friends of my friends who live nearby and people from Uruguay. My friends, okay. Okay. All right, so apparently I don't have any friends who live in Uruguay right now, or friends of friends, but there are people who are from Uruguay, And if you connect with them, they undoubtedly have, so I'm going to just click on this one, friends of my friends who live nearby and people from Uruguay. Wow. Okay. Who live nearby. Okay, so for example, Tad Hargrave is friends with people from Uruguay. I'm just going to click on people from Uruguay, okay? Oh, Tad Hargrave's friends from Uruguay, and he has how many? He has two. So again, these are two people who live in Uruguay, okay, who are using Facebook. Derek Rydell, friends with people from Uruguay. I'm going to click on that. Oh, he has a friend who lives in Uruguay. So this is how I would start to make connections if I were you, like adding these people as friends, the people who live in Uruguay. People from Uruguay, okay, one person, I would add them as a friend or message them, say, hey, I just moved to Uruguay and wanted to say hello, and I'm pretty new here, and looks like you know English too, and okay, you're an English speaker, and do you see what I mean? So I hope this is helpful, and I'm going to go back to the questions and seeing if that's helpful for you, Rosanna. Okay, so next question is from Karen, and Karen says, is your one-on-one an open conversation about where each individual is, or a way to deepen a topic? Now, Karen, if you can clarify that question, I'm not sure what you mean by that. You can just clarify that. That'd be great. Do you mean when you're having a conversation with a prospective client, or with a client, or I guess it's your one-on-one? Okay, so maybe it's me. When I talk with my clients weekly, in the coaching, we do two things. We, of course, I find out where they're at with the process of whatever we decided to work on. So basically, when we start the coaching program, I have all these list of projects. We pick 3 that, and this is something I have to say, this is something I didn't do as well in the previous group of clients that I'm going to do much better in this coming group. The previous group, I was much more. In our conversations, I was much more loosey-goosey. I was just really there for them to bounce ideas off. I was really there for their process, and that has some benefits in some ways. But I wish now, looking back, that I was more structured, at least at the beginning of the conversation, to be sure that we're still working on the projects that we know are the highest leverage for them. And okay, so Karen says, yeah, wondering when you work with clients in this group. So the way I worked with them in the past is going to be different from the way I'm going to work with the clients coming up. So the coming up, what I'm going to do is, in fact, I actually even wrote some notes. For every conversation, what I'm going to ask at the start of every session is, what would you most like to cover during our session? So be sure that if there's a burning marketing or business question, or even a habits question, that be covered during our session. Second question I'm going to ask is, how is your project going? The project that we had agreed that you would be working on, that you were excited to work on last time we talked. How's your project going? Third is, what challenge or issue has been on your mind regarding this project? Fourth, what is one accomplishment you're proud of this week? Okay. Fifth, and these might not be in the same order, but about your habit, how's it going? So besides projects, I'm going to be working with every client on whatever habit out of the 15 that they really want to get deeper and stabilize in their life. And of course, if you stabilize it sometime in the 12 weeks, we can go on to the next habit or the next project. So how's the habit going? What would you like to celebrate about your progress there? And is there a challenge or issue regarding the habit that you'd like to talk through and be sure you make a difference and make a change in this coming next couple of weeks? So that's what we talk about in our one-on-one coaching. That's what my plan is right now anyway. So I hope that's helpful. And okay, next question is from Barbara. Barbara says, so anyway, thank you, Karen. I hope that's helpful. So Barbara says, George, in the soul purpose work that I do, it's very energetic. People meet me without knowing much more want to work. I know how to get this energy across one-to-one. What ideas do you have to transmit this into larger groups, especially online? Okay. So Barbara, thank you for your question. I work with a couple of energy healers in this program as well. So transmitting the energy online in groups, I think this is actually more of a question regarding how you do your energy and healing process more than it is about business or marketing. I think I would tend to think that the more you are able to, I would say this, I would say that whichever channel you feel most alive in, whether it's video or audio like podcast. What video could be a webinar, like a live one or a recorded one. It could be a podcast, like a live podcast or a recorded podcast. Or if it's through writing, some people really feel alive when they're writing, and that actually transmits energy to their audiences who are reading it. So which one of these? And of course, in person is the top one, but we're talking online here. Video, audio, text. Which one do you feel most alive doing when you're talking about your work? And when you're doing your work, which one, what would you say? Whichever one you say, I would say that that's the one to commit to and to build more of your capabilities in, so that you can, because if you feel alive, I mean, if you feel alive doing that particular channel, your energy is gonna, your audience is gonna sense it. And Barbara said it's the connection I'm asking about. So when you're saying connection, do you mean live interaction? Or, yeah, so Barbara said maybe live video, as that's how I do my work via Skype. Yeah, so I would agree. So, for example, this is a live video that I'm recording for people to watch later, but I am feeling like I'm connecting at least a bit with you, Barbara. In terms of, I'll give you a tool to really consider. Check out zoom.us, www.zoom.us, not .com, zoom.us. I have experienced this technology as a participant, and I just experienced this last night, or yesterday actually, with my clients, and it works really well. It allows your audience to be video, up to 25 people can be on video with you, and you can see everyone in like a tile fashion, or you can focus the video on a particular person, like on you or on someone else that's being worked on. And that way, it allows you to see their facial expressions and transmit the energy more effectively that way. So check that out, because the way I'm doing it here, I wasn't sure how many people were going to be here, so I didn't want to do Zoom, and I didn't want to force you all to be on video. So I made it just text interaction with me, but Zoom allows full video interaction. And people who join Zoom, they could choose to hide they can click a button to turn off their camera so that you're just hearing their voice. And of course, you can mute them or whatever you want to do. So that's pretty cool. Zoom.us. So if there are no more questions, and I don't see any more questions at this point, so I will end this webinar. Thank you so much for being here live with me. There were about, as far as I could tell, about 17 live viewers of this, and a couple of folks chatting. Barbara, thank you. Karen, thank you. Rosanna, thank you. Jack, thank you. Aaron, thank you. So with that, I wish you a day forward where you are in the green, where you're feeling in flow, and that you're feeling balanced. And I also wish you increasing sensitivity to know when you're in the yellow, so you can bounce back and be in the green as much as possible. Sometimes, of course, we need to take a nap, or we need to rest for a while, of course, so that we can get back in the green. So I wish you a day of being in flow and balance. Thanks, and I'll see you next time. Be well.